Okay, I am back in business. They put me in YouTube uh, prison because of a video that I made entitled "The Giants Pedophiled Our Children, Ate Them, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was a very good video based upon the book of giants from the Dead Sea Scrolls. But not just there, also from Nimrod's and Nabuchodonosor dinosaur. Some people call Nebuchadnezzar. Anyway, the result of that is I deleted, I don't know, probably over 200 videos. So they're gone. If I choose to remake some of them, I will. But quite honestly, I'm getting bored with this, especially when everyone here knows that I teach natural law. So YouTube's reason for so-called reason for deleting my video and giving me a strike and putting me in YouTube prison for a week, maybe more. It seems like it was more. That was the result. I hope you're happy with the result. YouTube, I'm going to explain to you by the end of this video. You will totally understand what I did, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. Okay? So for all of you many people, I'm not talking to you people that will talk to me. I'm talking about CIA, Pentagon, FBI people. You know, I've already got Donald Trump Jr. on my TikTok account because apparently they don't like some of the things I say. I need to explain myself. I need to explain exactly who I am. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to explain who I am so that there won't be no confusion about it. The problem is that now that I have seen all that I've seen, I don't want no part of it. I don't want any part of the thuggery. And just so you know, I watch, and I mean I watch a ton of videos where cops are violating our constitutional rights right and left, thuggery of the highest level. I will literally watch that kind of stuff all day. Let me try to explain my position to the best of my ability. I am probably the highest level whistleblower there's ever been. I don't care about Obama. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about those people. They're actors playing a role. That's all. That's all they are. Could they be people who are thousands of years old, brought back to life so that they can have an impact on this supposedly great harvest that they're attempting to do. Really, we should have a harvest. What we should do is like harvest the Anunnaki and the tyrants out of here. That's what we should do. But to me, looking at the Anunnaki, what they say, what they think, what they do, the words that they speak, to me, I can't see nothing but Mafia. So I don't have no desire to have any part with these tyrants. I would rather be left alone. But there's a problem. There's a huge problem for them. What are they going to do with me? They would like to throw at me thought adjustment, which they do on a regular basis. That's why YouTube shut me down. They knew that it would offend me that they're basically saying this video that they canceled was, dangerous, inciting violence. That's a load of crap. Everyone knows that I teach natural law. That's what I teach. That is what I'm about, and that's what I teach. That's all I'm concerned with is natural law. Now, you break natural law, let's say that you injure me, like, for example, when I went before the magistrate, and the magistrate and the cop were behind hitting me with a directed microwave energy weapon in my heart, okay? Which caused me to crawl on my hands and knees out of the courthouse. If you injure me in any way like that, let me just explain to you what's going to happen. In the next world, it won't matter where I am. Wherever I am, you will be under me. I will be telling you what to do. The problem is these people offend so many people. There'll be a lot of people treating them poorly. Okay? Now, whether or not I decide that I want to teach you how to be good, that'll be up to me. I may not even want to do it. Okay? Clearly, they've got a huge problem here with karmic debt, where too many people are getting killed, therefore they want vengeance in the next world. So they want to kill their oppressors in the next world, which of course is completely and totally legal, okay, according to natural law. But see, that's all we're doing is killing each other after all this. You see, this is why this place isn't getting anywhere. And these same people want to teach you to forgive your enemy. Well, of course they do. But that doesn't happen until after the trial. What is wrong with you people? Do you not understand how things work? No, you don't. No, you don't. You want a free pass so that you can do whatever you list to us. And it ain't going to happen. I'm not going to stand for it. So anyway, long story short, this is not really real. It's an opportunity for you to bind up some stuff. But the bottom line is they're doing it all ass backwards. You see, They don't want to pay the consequences of their actions. Their children. If you watch, when you watch cops dealing with the public, particularly the way they treat black people. Now, why do you think they treat black people so bad? Why do you think they do that? Because they're trying to make a mafia like them. Ooh, 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 ooh. Join the Freemasons and you won't have this problem anymore. Does Jay-Z have this problem anymore? See, this is what it's about. It's the mafia. It's the mafia. Anyway, I'm not going there. Now, I wore my shirt for you. Look at my shirt. I will crush your head and tramp on your mafia carcass. And let me explain something to you. That I'm not kidding about. Now, metaphorically, I'll crush your head. Your government. That's what I'll do if I am able. And I'm not joining the Anunnaki and the Jesuits against the Igigi. I'm not doing that. Doesn't matter to me who you are. If you are abusing, I'm going to either crush you or tramp you, one way or the other. Metaphorically. I'm not about violence, okay? But I'm also not going to take your crap. Understand that. You're not going to violate my rights to hurt me in any way without me standing up for my rights. That much I can promise you. And all I do is watch the tyrants all day long do it. And I think about the Anunnaki. And I think about the things that I've heard Enlil say. And I think about the things that I've heard all of Enki's stupid sons say, including Ningishita. Oh, yeah. See, you can't really see my shirt. I'm going to stand up just a little bit for you. See my shirt? There's a man stepping on a scorpion. What's that? There's a man throttling a serpent. Ophiuchus, what does that mean? See, that's the third, or rather 12th constellation that the retards want you to think is Scorpio. They're not going to tell you that that is one constellation. It's not a 13th constellation for the moon, okay? It's a constellation for what we think is Scorpio. It has to be equal periods. And the way that they do that 13th deal is you end up with Ophiuchus for, a week. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. You don't count it once it leaves Scorpio and there's Ophiuchus. That scorpion is a part of Ophiuchus. So is the serpent he's wrestling with. Why do I care about this? I don't, to be honest with you. But I'm trying to help you understand who I am. See, this is why they watch me. This is why they move out of my way most of the time. But see, this attempt to thought control me that YouTube has done, I believe that they got my message. And look, I've got under 50 videos left, and I can delete them with one push of a button. I don't care about the Anunnaki. I don't care about the Agigi. You fellas have had enough trouble here. Two sides of the same coin. Don't tell me that Donald Trump has been running this country when we know that Obama has. And you know good and well, if Trump wasn't in bed with them, he'd be screaming to the high heavens about Obama. And he hadn't said a word about Obama running things. But we know that he illegally got a third term, and he's going to go for the fourth term. How do I know this? Because they've already got you set up for woke, people. Satan's world. They've set you up for woke. Now they're going to get a fourth term. And that's going to probably be the end. Okay? Just know that. These are just actors playing a part. They've got to bring about their prophecies so that you will think that they have some power. In reality, they're just retarded on such a level that you wouldn't expect them to be so childish, okay? But watch them cops on them TikToks, you know, tyrannical cops taking advantage of people left and right. And it's a disgrace what they do to black people. They look at white people and they say, oh, we already got you. We don't need to worry about you. You're a Christian. Why do they pick on the blacks? Because they know that Jesus could not have been a white person. There's no white people in the Bible. This is about, turning these poor black people to demon worship. That's all it is. That's all it is. Worshipping idols. That's what Jesus is. I tell you what. Let's get into this video. I'm ready to make it. 7 parables of the kingdom of heaven. Again, now I can call this person anything I want. If I want to call him YaHWeH, if I want to call him Yeshua, just know that that shin for shoe, let me tell you where that shin comes from. So if y'all want to continue to use that name, and by the way, in the Gospel of the Holy 12, half the time they use Yeshua, the other half they use Jesus. They just split it up. Let me tell you who Shua was. Shua was the king of Canaanites that Judah married his daughter. She's the one that kept telling her sons to spill the seed so they didn't end up with no RH negatives. Because she had a pretty good idea that Tamar was a plant so that Judah could get some decent, RH negative seed. She's referred to in your Bible as the daughter of Shua. So when you say Yeshua, just know that's the Canaanite side of Judah. Judah's got 2 sides. He's got an RH negative side, but he's definitely got a attacking lion. He's got a crouching lion. He's got an attacking lion. So these are the Canaanites. So just know, you want to use that name, fine. It doesn't matter. Yahshua, Yeshua, Jesuits, it's all the same. It doesn't matter. It's a Canaanite word. It's a shin. It's 2 fangs. That's what it is. You see what I mean? See, they might pretend to be righteous teachers. Talking about Thoth. They might pretend to be. But in the end, they got a job to do here, and it's to keep you in slavery. That's exactly what it is. And until they can face me in a courtroom with the Most High, ain't going there. Ain't going there. Anyway, again, YaHWeH. I've written here, Thoth clone. Thoth's clone, YaHWeH. Can Thoth be a black man? Of course, he can come in any color body he wants to come. Absolutely. We learned that from Donald Marshall. Donald Marshall said a lot of things, but he wasn't 100% right about a lot of things. He talked about Obama not having any power. He's got enough power to call himself Satan and to literally run for 4 terms. Who else has done that? Well, maybe Roosevelt. I really can't remember. So don't even act like it's the first time. Trump is not going to be it. And even if they do break up this country, which they may do, 10 kings, right? It's not going to be like it was where the whole thing is controlled. And yes, you will have different pockets of the country with different programs, apparently, but I wouldn't believe that any of them aren't going to continue on with the same tyrants that I've been watching all week long on my TikTok videos take advantage of people. And that, my friends, is the tail of the serpent. That ain't even the head. That's the tail. So just know that. We got a long way to go here. We ain't even close. You're just finding out what's going on if you really want to know the truth. Was sitting under a fig tree, and his disciples gathered around him, and around them came a multitude of people to hear him, and they said unto him, Whereunto shall I liken the kingdom of heaven? Now keep in mind that the kingdom of heaven is 4 dimensions. 4. Now 5D is the demon dimension, okay? So there's 4 visible dimensions. That's all I know. All these others are a myth, okay, to hide the truth. You've got under the land. You've got on the land. You've got under the sea. You've got above the land and the sea. That's 4 demon Zions. Get it? And they want you to think you're going to 5D. Oh boy, yeah, if you keep worshiping these devils, that's exactly where you're going to end up, is 5D. But here's where the kingdom of heaven is. And by the way, them hominids that, what's his name? Elon Musk keeps talking about at Antarctica. Them are not the, those are not the ones we're concerned with. Those are a recent and very recent. This is not the first time that they've done this. The Russians did this already. This is not the first time they did this. But if you remember, they were doing this way back when Jesse Ventura had his show at YaHWeH outside of Atlanta in Georgia. They were literally breeding, blending humansies. I told you about this before. You know, Jesse said, well, how would they do with Andre the Giant? And they were all lived in fear of Andre the Giant, including, you know, The Undertaker and, you know, Hulk Hogan, because he could snap their neck like that. if he was having a bad day. Anyway, they told him that, I don't even know if you can see this episode anymore. Let me know. You should watch all of them. Turns out Jesse was on to it. Some of it you're not even going to know. They hadn't unveiled it yet, but they will. Anyway, and he spake a parable, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain seed, small among seeds, which a man taketh and soweth in his field. But when it is grown, it becometh a great tree, which sendeth forth its branches all around, which again, shooting downward into the earth, take root and grow upward till the field is covered by the tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in its branches. Therefore, and the creatures of the earth find shelter beneath it. Well, there's nothing unusual about that. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a great treasure hid in a field, the which when a man findeth, he hideth it, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field, knowing how great will be the wealth therefrom. So, you know, this is what my wife did. She went down, she got her farm. I've done nothing but send seeds after seeds after seeds after seeds. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like to one pearl of great price. Oh, that's from the Book of Mormon right there. Which is found by a merchant seeking goodly pearls. Okay, now they're going to talk about commerce, because that's what their religion is based upon. And the merchant, finding it, selleth all that he hath and buyeth it, knowing how many more times it is worth than that which he gave it before. You see, they can't do nothing but talk about commerce. This is the Mafia. Do you understand? They can't even have a righteous story that isn't about the Mafia. Again, kingdom of heaven is likened to a woman who taketh the incorruptible leaven. I've written here Lactobacillus salivarius, and hideth it in 3 measures of milk till the whole is leavened, and being baked by fire become one loaf. Or again, to one who taketh a measure of pure wine and poureth it into 2 or 4 measures of water, till the whole thing being mingled becometh the fruit of the vine. They're just watering it down, people, so they can give it to more people. Brilliant! Brilliant! Oh, let's do the commerce, adding and subtracting game. Again, the kingdom of heaven is likened to a city built 4 square on the top of a hill. Let's talk about a pyramid. And established on a rock, and strong in its surrounding wall, and its towers and its gates, which lie to the north and to the south and to the east and to the west. Such a city falleth not, neither can be hidden. And its gates are open to all, who having the keys will enter therein. Now this is talking about their pyramid religion. That's all it is. And he spake another parable, saying, kingdom of heaven is like unto the good seed that man sowed in his field. But at night, listen, while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares also among the wheat. Now, who will be doing that at night? The moon stars, right? Okay? Pay attention. The moon stars, the monsters, the RH positives, and went his way. But when the blade sprung up and brought forth fruit in the ear, there appeared the tares also. And the servants of the householder came unto him, and he said, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in thy field? Whence then hath it tares? And he said unto them, An enemy hath come and done this. Now, that's easily Enlil, because Enlil is the one that Bird visited, and he's got all them Nazi Germans up there with him. And the servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, least haply, while you gather up the tares, you will root up the good wheat. Is there such thing as good wheat? I'm pretty sure we've determined that wheat has never been without gluten. It'll keep you alive, but is it really good? Is there not better grains without glutens? I eat millet and buckwheat. Quinoa are seeds. And there are other grains. Amanthoreth. Just saying. So forget about wheat, people. Do not get the wheat. It's terrible. It's bad for you. They've changed it. It's not the same wheat, but it never was that great. Let's just make sure we understand that. See, all that they ever give us is crap, because they do this everywhere they go and they know exactly what they're doing. Ooh. Let's get control of them. Keep them slaves. They give us crappy food. Yeah, you got to be your own advocate in this world. Remember that. You don't remember anything else. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, now that's the angels. The angels are the reapers, the Jesuits. Then who is the good seed? Who are the good seed? We know that the bad seed is the serpent seed. I'm going to cover that too. Who are the good seed? And how can you identify them? Well, for one, they're modest. They're not going to be running around with their belly buttons hanging out. Yeah. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather up first the tares. So they're going to gather the tares first and bind them in bundles to burn them and enrich the soil, but gather the wheat into my barn. See, they couldn't have a perfect grain to call us, so they just call us their crappy wheat with gluten. And again he spake, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened to the sowing of seed. Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured them. And others fell in rocky places without much earth. And straightway they sprang up, because they had no deepness of earth. And the sun was risen, and they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And all others fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. And others fell in the good ground, ready, prepared, and yielded fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. They who have ears, let them hear. Well, I'm sure that they were planning for me to be 100-fold. But I got some bad news for them. I don't trust you. I never will, because I see your mouths run, and I see where you're coming from. And I see that you're tyrants, just like the cops. You're mafia, just like the cops. Yeah. Why does Enlil suggest wiping out mankind with the flood? The story of the flood captures the conflict between wilderness and civilization. The god Enlil prefers the wilderness to the cities. The noise from the cities disturbs him, exactly like his great 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 grandfather that wanted to kill them, that apparently Inky killed, or at least that's the way the story goes. Talking about Leviathan's husband, talking about Tiamat's husband. And he wants to wipe out humanity because of it. He sends forth a great flood to turn the land into sea, the ultimate wilderness. We know that there was a flood. We don't know that it was worldwide, but it may have been. Enlil did that. Yeah. Why did Enlil hate humans? Enlil, Wikipedia. In the latter Akkadian version of the flood story recorded in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Enlil actually causes the flood, seeking to annihilate every living thing on the earth because the humans, who are vastly overpopulated, make too much noise and prevent him from sleeping. See, they don't have no natural law. Do you understand? It's clear to see who they are. They are not from the light. They're from the darkness. That's who runs them. They're from the dark side of the force. Yeah. Who banished Enlil? The gods did. In the myth of Enlil and Ninlil, the god Enlil is banished to the netherworld by the gods as punishment for his raping of Ninlil. Ninlil is the woman he actually ended up being made to marry. Is Zeus Enlil? In Greek and Sumerian, god Enlil is called Zeus. Also in Rome, the Sumerian god Enlil is called Jupiter. In Babylon, he is called El-Il. El-Il. House of fashioning, genetic laboratory in the cedar forest for crops and livestock. So in other words, they could have made perfect grains. They could have made perfect livestock, that they could have lived off of the milk and cheese and the butter. But see, they weren't satisfied with that. These bastards had to eat everything that they listed. This is from the Essene Humane Gospel of Christ. The return of the Holy 12, and in the course of time, the Holy 12 apostles did return, regathered to Yeshua, and did relate unto him the many things of their journeys to the 12 tribes of Israel. And it was at that time when Yeshua was sitting near the sea in a circle of 12 palm trees. The chosen 12 and their disciples came unto him. And there they were all together sat under the shade of trees. Do you remember how they chose these men? They are all one of the constellations. This is my constellation, the one that they're trying to hide. See, they're going about this all wrong. See, I see now that everywhere I look, they're promoting heavy and hard this so-called alien invasion, where we're going to get one alien that makes a claim that he's the new God everybody's going to worship. And then after that, Anu's going to come. Or something like that. They're saying Jesus is going to come. Well, who is Jesus? I mean, really, come on. It's Anu, right? Ultimately, the name Yeshua can be Thoth. But the name Jesus is all of them. That's all of them. It says, Yeshua spake unto them many things, and Yeshua said unto them, but whom do ye say I am now? And the apostles in turn answered, thou art indeed the Holy Christ, the Son of the true eternal God. Well, so am I, so are you. Okay? They're no closer to the eternal creator of all beginning than you are, who descended from heaven and dwelleth in the hearts of them who believe and obey the holy law. Really? They still haven't unveiled the holy law. I'm talking about the holy law that I continually put out there in front of you. The natural law thing. They still haven't unveiled it. And they don't have no reason to not have done that. For we, the Holy 12, have worked every good thing in thy name, and it accomplished, even as we said unto thee, to us in the beginning. Yea, we have been granted authority to heal every sickness of Satan, the evil one, Enlil, but probably Inky too. Because remember now, Inky, yes, he claims he loves humankind. He claimed he tried to do some stuff, but you know what? He just didn't have the power to get it done. Because apparently his brother was more powerful. Now, what is going to change by the showdown that they're getting ready to have? And yet raise the dead, for even the demons are subject unto us through thy holy name. And in every place we goeth, the Holy Spirit goeth. Now again, here is that Holy Spirit, that word. It's a spirit with the hole in it. Now does that mean it's female? See, I've got a hole in my pee-pee. I've got a hole in my bunghole. Why would they want to call it a Holy Spirit, a spirit with a hole in it? What happened to the whole Spirit? WHOLLY. Why do they got to change words and double speak? Just doesn't make any sense, does it? But when you think about, they can't help their double speak. They literally cannot help it because they're not righteous. Goeth also and is there for, and think about this. These people are cat people. The cat Holy Church, the cat Thars. Think about it. They're just going to wipe each other out. That's what they do. They act like cats. Yea, all things ye spake unto us are true and proven. We have become the sons of the eternal Father, Mother in heaven for a certainty. In heaven for a certainty. Yeshua said unto them, blessed are ye, my 12, who do believe. Now, why 12? Because those are the 12 constellations. The one that is Joseph is Ophiuchus. They constantly give negative reports on that month, the people in it that are born in that month. talking about scorpions, because they don't have no understanding that it is not a scorpion. It is a man stepping on a scorpion, wrestling with the serpent. And blood hath not revealed things unto you, but only the Spirit of God which dwelleth within you. What about the soul? That's light. For I indeed am the way, the truth, and the light. And the truth understandeth. Oh, you're going to stand under all things. That makes sense. For I say unto ye, all truth is in God, and I bear testimony unto the all truth. I am the true rock, and on this rock do I build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. For out of this rock flows rivers of living water to give life to the peoples of the earth. Really. Nigashita, what did you do with all them failed experiments that you ran mixing animals and people? Explain that. But behold and beware, there shall arise after you men of perverse minds, who shall through ignorance or through craft, that's Freemasonry, witchcraft, suppress many truths which I have spoken unto you, and lay to me things which I never spoke at all, thereby sowing tares among the good wheat, which I have given you to sow in the world. Then shall the truth of God endure the contradictions of evildoers. But the time cometh when the things which they have hidden shall be revealed and made known, and the truth shall make free those which were bound by falsehood and enslaved by Satan's deceptions and lies. Well, again, Satan works for them. They couldn't have a church without Satan. They couldn't have a black without white. They couldn't have a sun without moon. They need Satan. Woe is this time when the evil spirit of the world entereth into the church, and my doctrine and precepts are made void through the corruption of men and women. Yea, woe unto the world when the light is hidden and the truth abandoned. There's a lot of truths that you're trying to sweep under the rug, it seems like to me. For all these things shall come to pass. For many are they who shall trespass against my holy laws. Seek the laws of the evil one, for they will love and lie and hate the truth and yearn for every evil desire and lust contrary to nature. And at that time, YaHWeH they're talking about woke. That's what they're talking about now. And at that time, YaHWeH lifted his voice to heaven and said, I thank thee, O most righteous parent, creator of every perfect gift, that though these things are hidden from the worldly wise, they are nevertheless revealed unto babes. What is the meaning of the parable of the wheat and tares, LDS? This is Matthew 13, 24 through 30, 36 through 43. Savior used the parable of the field of the wheat and the tares, poisonous weeds, to teach about the righteous being gathered together and the wicked being burned before his return. So we see that they're burning Hawaii. What did they do that for? So that they could covet Hawaii. Do you understand? What is the parable of the wheat and tares in Matthew? Another parable he put forth to them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed his seed in the field, but while men slept, Now, who's going to be planting at night? He's telling you who it is, who the enemy is. The Cains, right? We're going to cover that. His enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went by his way. But when the grain had sprouted and produced a crop, then the tares also appeared. What is meant by the parable of the wheat and tares? As a result, true believers' wheat, well, you'd have to be a true believer to eat that crappy wheat today. That's like drinking the Kool-Aid. Diabetes, heart disease, boom. They're not messing around with it. And fake believers, tares, grow alongside one another in this world, waiting for the day of the harvest, when the Lord will separate the believers from the non-believers. In other words, you just gotta confess a name. You just gotta confess a name, Jesus. You see how it works? Good luck with that. Condemning the non-believers to hell while gathering the believers into his heaven. Let me tell you something. There's no question that the evil ones are the demons, okay? And yet they're allowed to go around in secret in 5D and cause trouble everywhere. How is that right on any level? Think about it. What do tares represent? The tare is an older English word for weeds. Boy, we're starting to find out we've got great weeds in our yards that are actually have healing properties. In the Bible, the word is used to represent sins or bad deeds of any sort. Dandelions, mullein, milk thistle, burdock, yarrow, nettle, stinging nettle, chickweed, amaranth, and goldenrod. And you know what? Many of these were put in Harry Hoxie's cancer cure. Yeah. So we know that they work. What does the parable of the wheat and weeds teach as a major lesson? The parable of the wheat and weeds teaches us that the Anunnaki does have a plan for this world, and he is working to accomplish it. However, in its unfolding over time, and that it means there's something waiting to do, something we find difficult. Thoth is teaching us patience, the patience of an Anunnaki who chooses to delay his judgment. And you see who's getting to do all the bad acting, right? The demons. Same people that are the troublemakers on the earth. Now, let me see if I got this right. So they become bad actors knowing that they're going to hell. Is that what they're saying? Something is not right, people. Something is not right. Separating the wheat from the chaff, the whole grains council. This can require two processes. Threshing to loosen the whole, in other words, harvesting, and winnowing to get rid of the hull. In some harvest-ready grains, the hull is thin and papery and easy to remove. Little or no threshing is required as the hull is already loose. Their little parables don't make any sense, people. It's not the way things work. What does the wheat represent in the parable? The wheat will be gathered and brought into the barn. In this allegory, the sower, Jesus, and the enemy, the devil. The good seed represents people who listen to and respond to God's word. Well, let me tell you, YouTube told me that they literally had to give me a strike. Thought, control. They want to control my thoughts. So they gave me a strike saying that I was inciting violence. That's a goddamn lie. Yeah. These are the people who belong to the kingdom of the Anunnaki and who will go to heaven at the end of time. People, you are already in heaven, and in 4 dimensions, that's where heaven is. Now, if you want to talk about 5D, right now, all I know is that's where the demons are. Oh, I'm going to cover that too. We'll get there. In the Bible, wheat is often viewed as a symbol of abundance, fertility, and sustenance. It is associated with the concept of spiritual nourishment and growth. What happened to the nourishment of the soul and the sun? Why is it always about the man? Listen, I watch a TV show pretty much all the time now called Evil. And it has taught me how to exorcise demons, and I have done that with what I've learned. But the truth is that they wouldn't listen to me for a second if I wasn't following the so-called law, which apparently YouTube is trying to oppress me and manipulate me into changing my story, which I'm not going to do. It may also represent a time of spiritual growth and fulfillment. Gluten, bleach, fungus. Wheat is not good, people. They bleach it. It's got fungus in it. It's got gluten in it. What does tare mean in the Bible? A wheat of grain fields, especially of biblical times, that is usually held to be darnel. Now, we'll cover this at the end. Tares, plural, an undesirable element. Can tares be eaten? Tares usually are not taken in sufficient amounts to be fatal to humans. In other words, it's not really any worse than the wheat. But depending on the amount ingested, they are associated with a broad spectrum of negative effects. At one end of the spectrum, tares can simply make bread unpalatable, turning the flour gray and making it taste acrid and bitter. Is darnel poisonous to humans? It's called darnel ryegrass. There's a name here, I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. Is another common endophyte. Infected grass species. This species has a long record as a plant, poisonous to humans and animals. Do you know? That's misspoke right there. It's not poisonous. But it has a fungus that gets in it, and that's what causes all the problem. It's susceptible to it. Is darnel a weed or a tare? Tare, the darnel, there's the word again, I'm not going to try. Weed which grows among grain, particularly wheat. The grains resemble those of wheat so that it is very difficult to separate them by sifting. And as a result, they are sown together with the wheat and grow with it in the field. Gosh, I wonder if Enlil did that, trying to ruin the food supply. Because, he did that. Billy Carson has got it in one of their books. I wish I could tell you the name of the book. I will get it at some point, but there's just entirely too much for me to do. Darnel is a particularly troublesome kind of weed which resembles wheat. Can be easily understood why landowners instruct the laborers to remove the weed only at harvest time, for to put it out beforehand would probably uproot the wheat, thus destroy the crop. Huh. Why only wheat? Excuse me, I'm not going to keep coughing. Boron, potassium iodide, distilled. And I just I just cleaned my distiller. So there you go. Who sowed the tares among the wheat? The weeds are the people who belong to the evil one. Now you see, they belong to the evil one. Who is the evil one in the Bible? Samael, who, deceives Eve. We'll cover it. We'll get there. The enemy who planted the weeds among the wheat is the devil. I've written here Enlil the Anunnaki. Take your pick. It doesn't matter which one. Inky liked to get his Winky involved in a lot. He surely did. That never tells you. It says Samael. Then you look it up in the Urantia book, and there's literally 2,000 pages, and there's not one word about Samael. Come on. It's one of the Anunnaki. That's all it can be. Do you understand? That's all it can be. Can't be nothing else. Samael. The secret name, so we can't tie him to any one of the names we know. The enemy who planted the weeds among the wheat is the devil. Just as the weeds are sorted out and burned in the fire, so will it be at the end of the world. Well, that's just lovely. Oh, here we go. So, I could do my song about They Will Never Tear Us Apart, by NXS. In excess. Get it? In other words, drunken. Yeah. It says, and will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley, which is another terrible grain, and for pieces of bread to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live by your lying to my people that hear your lies. So we know that they lie, but they have both sides lie. So we know that. It says, wherefore thus saith the YaHWeH, behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith ye there hunt the souls to make them fly. Now, what is he talking about? I read 5 books on the subject that were written by Robert Monroe, and they covered everything that is happening in 5D when you astro project. where you're going and what you're doing. Now, I never did this. I never pursued this. I never tried to do it. In fact, they gave me all the mushrooms I could possibly ever do in my neighbor's yard on both sides, and I just refused to do it. You know, I made the ayahuasca and just threw it out. Not interested. If they want me to do it to the point where they'll plant it right there in my yard, my neighbor's yards, you understand? On both sides. That's manipulation. And I will tear them from your arms and will let the souls go. Now, finally, somebody here is talking about a soul instead of a spirit. Even the souls that ye hunt to make them fly to escape. They keep talking about, you know, you can't trust the light. You know, when you die, don't go towards the light. That ain't going to be me. Telling you right now. You want to be in the soul trap of the moon, you go right ahead. Not me. Because with lies you have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked way, by promising him life. See how that works? That's every Christian church that there's ever been. Oh, just keep eating all that dead flesh. There's hardly anybody out there. My voice has truly been a voice in the wilderness. No one's interested in what I have to say. Satan's ministers, and thus I clothe my naked villainy with odd old ends stolen out of Holy Writ, and seem a saint, when most I play the devil. That's William Shakespeare, Richard III. That's what I'm talking about. Wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what I'm talking about. Satan is not fighting the churches and synagogues. He is running them. Sowing tares among the wheat is his specialty. This is how he deceives the whole world. He accomplishes more by intimidation than by opposition. And we did according to all of Yahweh's words. All the malignant evil ones were bound in the place of condemnation. Now that's on the second heaven, which is where Enki, just for the record, is the king, Lord of the abyss, of the water, of the sea, right? Hello? 10th part of them we left that they might be subject before Satan on the earth. This is from the book of Jubilees. Many will say in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have not cast out devils? Wait a minute. There's a special name that does that. Jesus, right? And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then I will say unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. This right here is not an Anunnaki. Every once in a while, you'll hear this voice speak. This is who I'm holding out for. I will visit Baal in Babylon, and the thing that he hath swallowed up, that same shall I pluck out of his mouth, and the Gentiles shall not run away any more unto him. Indeed, the wall of Babylon shall fall. O my people, come out of her, that every man may save his soul from the burning wrath of Yahweh. Well, I don't think you can harm a person with a soul of light that way. Burning isn't going to be a problem. You understand? Lights burn. You get what I'm saying? More threats. I had to deal with those lions at the Lions Club. Not there anymore. Got a new place. I am against those who hunt my children, teach them to fly. Think about it. Who does that? Opening up your pineal gland. Kundalini. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Do you know the laws of the heavens? Can you set up God's dominion over the earth? Talking to Job. Dark stars. And those men took me up, and they led me on to the second heaven, and showed me darkness greater than earthly darkness. And I saw the prisoners hanging, watched, waiting the great and boundless judgment. These angels were dark looking, more than earthly darkness, and incessantly making weeping through all hours. That's under the earth, in the abyss of the sea, the second heaven. And I said to the men who were there with me, wherefore are these incessantly tortured? They answered me, and they said, these are God's apostates who obeyed not God's command, but took counsel with their own will, and turned away with their prince, Satan, who is fastened to the fifth heaven. 5-pointed stars. There's a guy that has that little 5-pointed star collar on all of his shirts. That's all he ever wears. I hope he's got more than one. Whew. Anyway, he thinks he's real smart. Looks like an Anunnaki. You know, albino looking. Satan's hierarchy in the second heaven. This is according to, what's his name? Howard O. Pittman. 7 princes, 3 captains. Frog-like possession demons. Like Revelation 13. 8-foot Grigori soldier bronze giants. Doesn't say that they got those cat faces. Like on the cathedrals. Cat cathedrals. Regular-sized humans in appearance. Bosses. In other words, mob bosses. Mixed shapes and hybrid forms. Known and unknown animal forms. Horrible, morbid, unknown forms. You know, like Slimer from Ghostbusters. Mysterious demons causing epileptic fits. There's also one that is going to be, he kept talking about it, but he kept saying he didn't know anything about it. Clearly, there's one possessing children, and that's what he was talking about. I've seen it with my own eyes. I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star from the heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Well, what's in the bottomless pit? Now, the king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek tongue it's Apollyon. See, they want you to think it's the sun. Marduk claimed to be the sun. Saying to the 6th angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. The 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay a third part of men. Now, you know, something makes me feel like COVID is probably going to be a part of that. But who are these men? Think about it. Let both grow up until the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, gather up first the tares and bind them into bundles and burn them to enrich the soil. If you were going to burn trees, that's how you would enrich the soil. You would put wood ash in your garden. But gather the wheat into my barn. Is that what they were doing in Nazi Germany? But the tares are the children of the wicked one. Now, I guess that's Samael, because that would be Cain and all of his tribe. The enemy, and you know what their blood type is, right? Do I have to tell you? Actually, it's a blood group, which is what I've said many times. You can't base it on race. You also can't base it on blood type, but you can on blood group. We're going to cover that in a minute. The seed that fell by the wayside is that when any hear of the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which is sown in their heart. Billy Graham, catcheth away. These are they which receive the seed by the wayside. Not by the way, by the wayside. It's simple, people. You cannot eat dead flesh, because in order to do that, you have to kill something or be a part of just being a ghoul and eating it. You don't necessarily have to do the killing. And I've done videos over whether or not you're going to be punished the same way. I'm not reading all of this. But I got to read some of it. It says, and the disciples brought him 2 small baskets of bread and fruit and a pitcher of fresh water. And Yeshua set the bread and the fruit and also the water before the multitude. And they did eat and they did drink and were filled. And the disciples marveled, for each had enough and to spare. And there were 4,000 among them numbered. So where's the fish? See, not in my book. Gospel of the Holy 12, Essene, Humane Gospel of Christ. Either one of them. For know you that the very angels of the Lord are the reapers of the harvest, and leadeth the holy ones to every seed of God, spread out over the earth, even as the 4 holy winds above. Yea, they make it the light to shine forth, and the sheep see the light, and they know it coming from God. For ye are the light bearers of the holy way. By that light the roadway shall be made clear for the righteous to see, to follow thee. Henceforth let thy light shine forth and be seen, for no man covereth a lantern with a sack, lest the light be hidden. Know ye this day, ye are the light of the world, and the sheep looketh to the light. Feed my sheep, even as the good shepherd hath commanded ye. For mine angel shall deliver unto thee many in want of the Christ and his truth. Feed my sheep, yea, feed my little lambs. And all those listening to Yeshua, words departed, shouting praises of joy to God for all that they have been heard and seen. The problem is, The angels, come on. If they're spirits, now in Catholicism, there are no good demons. In Islam, they don't really know. They hope there are. But to me, that seems like awfully wishful thinking. Anyway, I'm not going to read all this. It says, and Yeshua continued speaking to the 270 and beheld his words, each according to his own tongue. And Yeshua said unto them, Yea, even all that I spake unto you are proven. Yea, even the demons are subject unto my name. For I beheld Satan as lightning fall from the heaven. But though I give unto you power. See, they're not going. See, this is another problem I have with all this. They're not going to tell you about the flat earth. They still want you to think that's my problem with all of it. Once I started realizing that, it was hard for me to buy into this crap. That says, but though I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and I have had that power. And even though they've tormented me through my daughter and my family, they've not touched one hair on my head. And over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you, notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you. Do you understand? Every once in a while they let the truth out. The spirits are subject unto you souls. But rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're going to try to get me out after all this. Not sure they can do it though. Because I've been doing my job. I just don't have no faith in Thoth, Enki, Enlil, Anu, or any of them. So, I have to get moving. Blessed are ye of the inner circle who hear my word and whom the mysteries are revealed, who give to no innocent creature the pain of prison or death. That's me. But seek the good of all, for to such is everlasting life. Now, you know, I have a lot of people that I teach that are RH positive. And they're on their best behavior normally around me. I don't have no problem with them. Some of them are even Freemasons. And they are absolutely the most manipulative group I have. But I set up a boundary when I first dealt with them, and they know that I will throw them out of my club. That it's my club. And that I'm the shepherd. So I'd like to cover this, and then I'm going to have to be done. But the reason I'm covering this with you now is because I'm trying to explain to you in a way you can understand that who these people are, who I am, so when you say serpent, Okay? Pay attention. Leviticus 11. This is from the Targum of Palestine. And every flying reptile that goeth upon all four. What is a flying reptile, pray tell? The fly species, the wasp, the hornet species. You're starting to understand what scorpions are now, right? And the bee species shall be an abomination to you. Nevertheless, of the honey of the bee you may eat. So also of these you may eat. Every flying reptile that goeth upon all four, every one that hath joints above his feet, to leap within therewith upon the ground. In other words, grasshoppers. Of these kind, of them you may eat. The wingless locust after his kind. The bald locust after his kind. The serpent killer after his kind. The Karziba, which is the palmer worm, after its kind. But all flying reptiles which have 4 feet are an abomination to you, and by them you would be defiled. Whosoever toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. Now I could go on. So, and of the flesh of every reptile that creepeth upon the ground. Now what is that? That's the weasel, the mouse, black, red, white, and the toad after his kind. The sucking serpent, which is probably a leech or a snail, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the salamander. Well, there's your snail. These 8 kinds are unclean to you among the reptiles. Whoever touches them, their skin or their blood shall be unclean until evening. Now, it goes on and it talks about, if they get in your food supply, you got to throw your food supply away. Every reptile that creepeth upon the ground is an abomination. Yep. So I just want to read this to you, because if there ever was a description of the serpent's tail, talking about the cops. This is a song that Prince did. After I do this, I'm gonna be done. This I found on the internet. I have not actually read it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate. When I was here before, couldn't look me in the eye. He's saying it backwards, you see. Because I'm just like an angel. Skin makes you cry. See how he's reversing it? Talking about himself instead of the creeper, first person. Skin makes you cry. I float like a feather in a beautiful world. You wish you were special, so do I. You are, says, you're a liar. What are you doing here? You don't belong here. Where do they belong if they don't belong here? Under the earth. That's where they're from. They live under the earth. Some of them fly. Insects, right? But this is, I'm giving you who the creeps are. Prince reappears and begins crying, wipes his tears, checks his emotions, and walks away from the microphone before coming back to do the second verse. You don't care if it hurts. You just want to have control. That's those stinking Freemason cops. You want a perfect body. You want a perfect soul. Doesn't say anything about a spirit. You want me to notice? Yes, you do. When you're not around. I wish you were special. Yes, I do. Because I think you're special. Oh, maybe it's just who's to say, baby? We've been lying. What are you doing here? We don't belong here. Prince appears to make an ugly face as he tries to hold back the tears. He begins shaking his head, refusing to let the tears fall. He gets the crowd to do the singing. Now, she's running out the door. Okay. Who is the Ma? Okay. Free Ma's sons. Who is the Ma? Does that sound like a mother to you? Mother Earth under the earth? She do. She's running out the door. Yes, she will be. Not yet, but she will. Once the burning starts, you're going to see her running downstairs. Prince rips into one of the greatest guitar solos ever. We'll probably never know, but what was going on with him at the time that caused him to become so emotional while performing this version of Creep? Well, he was trying to keep his butt from being, charged at the stage, I'm sure. What songs have you ever seen Prince perform live in his most emotional state? While My Guitar Weeps was pretty good. But Purple Rain, and of course this one, everybody should see that version. Anyway, I'm going to have to do the rest of this video next time. But you see that I've covered a lot of material. Anyway, thank you very much for your time and your attention. Have a nice day.